What you guys got another video. Microsoft issues a second emergency Windows 11 update. Now we had Patch Tuesday in January with an update of KB5074109 and there was problems with that update and a lot of people were uninstalling it because of the issues that it was causing. Microsoft then released a patch for that particular update. And these problems that were caused by that Patch Tuesday update were remote desktop, hibernation and shutdown behaviors and Outlook. But people then started flooding in reports about other issues with certain apps not opening correctly. This was Notepad, Snipping Tool and other applications like Alienware Command Center, which is what my monitor is, and it wasn't opening correctly. There was also issues with Armoury Crate and loads of other types of applications as well that wasn't functioning properly due to this update. So Microsoft now have issued another emergency update to try to rectify these problems. Now you should receive this update automatically from Microsoft if you haven't paused your updates and you've got the original Patch Tuesday update, which is KB5074109. This update will come down and fix a lot of those issues that people were complaining about on the forums, Reddit and Microsoft support forums. So people are also getting error codes popping up when they're opening up applications as well. That error code was 0x803F8001. The error codes were related to the update that they had, but now this patch hopefully is going to fix a lot of these issues that people were having. So to get these updates installed on the system, you're going to have to resume Windows updates, of course, and then start to update your system. You can see I'm running Windows 11 Pro 25H2 here, but these updates are listed for different versions of Windows because it does affect Windows 10, Windows 11, 23H2 and 25H2 and 24H2. I'll quickly show you the support pages. These are what we call out-of-band updates. And you can see right here, January 24th, 2026, KB5078127. That is for versions of Windows 11 25H2 and 24H2. That would be the version of update that will come down onto your system. It should come down in your Windows Update panel. If it doesn't, you can download the OOB update on the Microsoft catalog, but you should really receive it through your Windows Update panel. If it's not coming down for any known reason, then I'll show you where you can download it and how to download it and get it installed on your system to hopefully fix the issues for this nightmare Patch Tuesday update that Microsoft released to the general public on January 13th, 2026. You can see right here, they're saying it becomes unresponsive. It encountered unexpected errors when opening files and saving files to the cloud. And basically, it's affecting OneDrive, Dropbox, Outlook, PST files, and also it was affecting applications like Notepad, Snipping Tool, and things like that as well. So it has caused a lot of problems. So if you are having these issues, I think a lot of people are saying that they are using this update and it's not caused them any problems. If that is the case, then you might want to just leave the update onto the system and don't uninstall it. But if you are having issues, it's advisable to uninstall it or run through the update sequence that we're talking about right here and get all of the updates onto the system and try to fix it. This one is for Windows 11 version 23H2. It affects that version of Windows exactly the same as it does 25H2 and 24H2. Those versions are affected the same way 23H2 is. Now, to get 2 emergency updates from Microsoft in 1 week is absolutely mental. It really is. I can't understand what's going on there at that department where they're releasing updates without even checking them. You can see we have also KB5078129, which is for Windows 10 versions and also enterprise versions. This fixed the secure boot certificate. There's an issue with that as well, and this update will fix and resolve that issue if you've been updating your system on a regular basis. It also fixes the same issues with PST files, Outlook, also OneDrive and other issues that you might be having through this update. So you might want to update that as well if you're on Windows 10. Now, for those that are saying that they've downloaded and installed the Patch Tuesday update KB5074109 and have not had any issues with it, it's probably because they haven't opened up certain applications and they haven't had this issue yet. But that issue will be laying there dormant until you click on some of those applications. And if that is the case, then you might want to get this out-of-band update and get it installed on the system. Now, like I said, the Microsoft Update Catalog, you would just need to search for the KB file that it relates to your operating system. So if you're on 25H2 or 24H2, you would obviously use that first code that I talked about there, which is KB5078127. If you're on a different version of Windows like 23H2, the KB file would be different. That would be KB5078132. You'd need to download that if you're on that version of Windows. And if you're on Windows 10, the KB file again will change to 5078129 if you're on Windows 10. And just look for the actual relevant file there. Make sure you're not downloading the ARM version, otherwise it's not going to install. But this one here will be for Windows 10. This is only if it's not coming down on the Windows Update panel and you haven't received it yet and you're having issues. You can go to the Microsoft Update Catalog and search for it and download the file here. I've shown you how to install these before. Just hit the download button, click on the relevant file, and it will unpack and install onto the system. But you're better off waiting until it gets pushed through the Windows Updates panel. But if you've been waiting for a while now and you're having issues and you can't wait, then obviously use the Microsoft Update Catalog. Also, I think there was some confusion here about whether they should uninstall the KB5074109. If you're having major issues, then obviously at that time you should have uninstalled it. But now Microsoft are starting to push out updates and fixes for this particular update. You might want to try and update your system and see whether these problems are now rectified. Now, I can understand that people are a little bit dubious about some of these updates, but obviously these are emergency updates to patch the system where the KB5074109 was causing a lot of problems. Hopefully these two emergency patches will fix this system. Now, obviously, if you've uninstalled the original Patch Tuesday update, then you're going to need to update your system, unpause the system and run updates like I'm doing right here. And hopefully that will resolve a lot of the issues that you were having previously. If you are using your operating system and you've been updating your system and it's working perfectly fine, just check the snipping tool and all the other tools as well that we mentioned earlier on, like Notepad, to see whether the system is functioning properly after you've got all these updates installed. Hopefully everything has gone back to normality, and you can see this system has got all of the updates here on the system right now. So we have got all the latest updates and all of the latest patches, emergency patches onto the system. Now, for whatever reason, you can still uninstall these patches if the problem exists and you're still having issues with it. And you can also still pause your Windows updates. If you need to pause the updates, you can do. So just bear that in mind. Hopefully on this system that I've fully updated now, a lot of the problems have gone and it's working perfectly fine. Now, one thing I want to bring to your attention is that if Microsoft can quickly release 2 emergency updates to fix a lot of problems, then how was those problems there in the first place? How did someone overlook these issues and release it to the general public and cause mayhem? And also, surely in their testing, a lot of these problems would have been showing themselves. Like, for instance, the snipping tool not opening or Outlook opening. What sort of test machine have they got? They must be able to test a lot of this stuff before it's released to the general public. And for them to quickly release an emergency update and fix it, 2 emergency updates and fix the issue finally, surely that could have all been avoided by simply testing it before it's released to the general public, because it's not a major problem. If they can fix it that quickly, it's negligence really on their part where they're not testing the system thoroughly before the update is released to the general public. That's just my opinion, because they rolled out fixes for this very, very quickly, which could have been avoided if they were testing their Windows updates before they are released. They must have a test machine somewhere that has got all of the software that they use on their system, like Snipping Tool, Outlook, and all these other issues that were arising. They must be testing it to see whether it's stable and whether it's ready for release. Surely that's what they're doing, because that's what they do in companies. They will have all of the workstations that people use on a daily basis all on the same Windows update version. And of course, in the back office, they will have a test machine, which is the same as the workstations, which they will roll out updates on and test to see whether there's any issues with those updates on those test machines before they roll out those updates across the network to all the workstations and end up obviously having a complete nightmare, like applications not opening. Can you imagine on a local network that you've got, 1,000 machines where they've all got Outlook on them and they're all using it, and of course it now crashes and it can't open? That can bring a small company to its knees. And this is the big problem when you're having updates rolled out like this. And this is why companies don't roll out updates willy-nilly like this, and they just basically wait until they know 100% that these updates are working correctly. And that's why they run them on a test machine in the back office to make sure everything is working correctly before they roll it out across the network to all of the workstations, because they don't want a serious outage where you can have a major problem with, say, Outlook on every single machine, which will obviously bring that company to its knees. They wouldn't be able to use that application, and that can be very problematic. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, whether you've updated all of these updates now and whether all the problems have been rectified, or whether you've still got them on pause and whether you are going to be rolling them out. I'll be interested to read all of your comments. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Hope this video has been some sort of help to you. Just want to say a big shout out to all my YouTube members who join my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support. Whether you're tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3, it really does help. Anyway, I shall catch you in the very next video. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.